Hi everyone, my name's Caroline from Red Dust Creations, and this is just a quick walkthrough of what I do when I turn my plants from plants that have soil to plants that don't have soil, so that just live in the water. I've got two different glass vessels here. So one's one that I've bought, sort of like an old style apothecary bottle, and then this one is a good old Kangtong jar. So it doesn't matter what you've got, you could make it work. And I just thought I'd show you this little one to start with before I get on to turning the plants from normal plants to water plants. This is a propagation station, I guess. It's a mini one that I 3D printed, and it has been fabulous. So it's got 6 little holes, and at the moment we have 5 plants in there, and too high. As you can see, we've got roots, and roots. We've even got a little root here. This one I wasn't sure if we were going to get a root off it. It's a very slow rooting one, that one. It's not a pothos or a syngonium or a monstera. It's a different one. Not sure where it came from. I think it was possibly a cutting off another cutting, but the rest of them, especially because I've put the pothos cuttings in there, and as I said, I think I've said in a couple of the other videos that they give off a rooting hormone that supports the growth of other plants. So these ones I'm going to have to transplant into water as well, like their own vessels, sooner rather than later, because otherwise they will be too difficult to get out because there's really narrow channels here. I don't know if you can see that in the video, but that's a really narrow channel that you can get those cuttings out of. So I've got to make sure I can get them out without doing any damage to the tiny little baby plants. But yeah, so that is one way that I can propagate a lot of cuttings in one place, especially if they've only got like 1 or 2 leaves and might accidentally drown themselves in another container of any kind. So I'm just going to shoot these guys off to the side, or we might leave them for a little bit of greenery maybe. No, it's going to change it'll work out the weirdness there. Okay, so I just have an empty container, so I'm going to tip out the soil and things like that I need to. I've got water in my 2 vessels, so they're full of water at the moment. The level of water can be adjusted as necessary. Corduroy is once again chewing on a bottle because he couldn't possibly not be part of this process. So let's say hello to Corduroy Bear. Corduroy Bear. Corduroy. What you doing? Hey? Good job. Oh, I might just have to, I don't think I can pause it. Can I pause it? No, that's okay. Sorry, I wasn't sure. I've got a friend dropping off dinner, I think, today. I have been at work all day today. Things are still a bit skewiffy at home and things like that. My niece had a motorbike accident on Sunday and sustained some pretty gnarly injuries, but considering the damage she did to her protective gear, she's doing okay. So I was at work today, so my spoons is probably negative Corduroy, as opposed to yesterday. Can I take the lid off, darling? Sorry, as opposed to yesterday when I was kind of at 0 spoons, I'm probably in negative territory at the moment, possibly. But I just thought, I'm just going to keep going, trying to achieve something each day, just so I feel like, again, like I've done something that's either not just freaking out and worrying because she's not here and I can't help her, or feeling kind of useless because I haven't been able to do anything, or just sitting at home and being tired and exhausted because I've worked all day as a kindergarten teacher. So there's going to be a little bit of chronic pain stuff in here. There's going to be a little bit of plant stuff in here. You've already had the dog stuff. So yeah, you're going to get a bit of everything. So if we have a look at this one, so I'll just grab this one out. This one was just an indoor, it just says indoor foliage assorted. It's from Bunnings, okay. Sorry, it's just a little bit close, I think, to get some great detail. There we go, that's a bit better. It's gorgeous colouring and things like that. It's a type of syngonium, that much I do know from other ones that I have. And it's beautiful, okay.
This is a reminder. If Nancy had cat cracked.
I don't know how I managed to time this perfectly, like almost every time I record. But again, that was the reminder to give Nancy her drugs. Cat crack is an anti-inflammatory for her. So there are a couple of dead leaves down the bottom here, and I'm just going to take them out, pull them off before I do anything else. Okay, I've had this just out of the water for a while, and as you can see, I don't think you can see, this one's actually, because I've left it in there for a bit longer than planned, it's actually become a little bit root bound in that teeny tiny pot, because as you can see, it's growing beautifully here, and it's got some gorgeous new growth in here as well. That tiny little bit of green there, that is new growth, which is fabulous. But I'm hoping that I can separate this. I might not be able to do it just yet. Separate it into multiple plants. But the first thing to do is to get rid of as much soil as possible. So whether it's the soil's damp, super wet, or dryish, depending on your level of remembering to water your plants. Again, this is another reason that water plants are way better for me, because they have water and they have a greater chance of surviving because they won't be going thirsty. Oh, Corduroy's managed to get the lid off, so that's why it's quiet down there now. So I'm just sort of doing what I think it was Peter Blundell of Gardening Australia, I think that's his name. But anyway, one of the gardeners or something like that used to talk about tickling the roots. So that's pretty much what you're doing at this point in time, just to release its hold on the soil. So trying not to put my hands in the way so that you can actually see what's happening. So we've got this main root out here, and then we've got a bunch of all these smaller ones in here. So we want to get as much soil off them as possible. But then we're just going to pop them into one of our glass jars, just glass containers. This one, as you can see, is quite a tallish plant. So I'll probably put this one into the Cantong jar because I haven't put a heap of water in there yet. And it has enough strength, I think. If all of these plants are joined together, it'll have enough strength to keep itself upright. If not, and I think that they might be, but that's okay. I think that they'll separate shortly. After some soaking. If not, then I've got some great Velcro strips and things like that that can be used to hold the different stems together and give them a little bit of support as they are adjusting to life as water plants. So I'm just trying to get rid of a little bit more of the soil that is up in the middle of that root. I don't even know what you call the bit where all the roots come off. The root ball? The root... the root blob? I don't know, but as you can see, so the more I'm teasing it and playing with it, the more we are getting dirt off those roots so that they'll be ready to just simply pop in to our vessel, which is very cool. And I'm just going to do the same thing with the other two. So I am going to leave you guys with a nice short video tonight, because I want to give these guys a bit of time before I do anything else. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing with my other two plants. Okay, but this is just a quick one. So how you can turn plants that like to live in soil into water plants. It's simply as easy as taking them out, getting rid of as much of the dirt as possible. Like, it will come off when it soaks in the water. And then you, my friend, are ready to become a water plant parent. Got any questions, drop them below. If I know the answers, I will answer them. But yeah, so I'm going to do the same to the other ones. I might take a few photos that I can add in for you. But that's pretty much how it works. So, not very long time, and we've got one plant ready to go into the water. So I'm going to pop it in here, into the Cantong one. Make sure that it's not too far deep in, like we just want the tops of the roots in. So if necessary, you might put like some paddle pop sticks or something, or some chopsticks or something across the top so that you can give it something else to sit on so it doesn't go too low. Or you can always just adjust the level of the water. So that's it. So this is the soil that's come off that plant, and it is now living in water. So hopefully it'll be okay. It'll be fine. Hopefully I'll be able to separate it into multiple plants soon. And yeah. So then we have another one. This is another one of those tiny little ones from. So the other ones that I'm doing, I've got another tiny little one from Bunnings. This is another Syngonium. Like, I'm 90% certain it's a Syngonium anyway. Again, all it says is indoor foliage assorted, 60 millimeters. That's it. So I kind of got to go from there, but it has a similar leaf shape and everything. It's a slightly different color to the other one that I had. And then the last one I have, this one was a bigger Syngonium. It's a much bigger container, but it was only like $1 more. So again, it's another Bunnings one, but this one has gorgeous, you can see that, gorgeous red in its leaves. Okay, so it's actually quite a beautiful one. So different colouring than the others, which are predominantly green. This one's got a bit more red in it, but again, since it's been living in here, it's got some little bits of green growth in the middle here, which is super exciting. So it's happy with all the emotion and water that it's had. So hopefully we'll have some more plants ready to go in glass jars, vases, bottles, whatever, for the next markets that I go to. And we'll see if I can sell a few of them. But if not, doesn't matter. I'll just have more in my house. Corduroy, don't climb on my back. Okay. Please like and subscribe if you like my random ramblings. Yeah, as I said, negative spoons, I think, today. But doing this does make me happy. That's not me masking. That's me happy. Okay? Because, yeah, they're growing, they're flourishing. And it's nice to have things around the house that do that, other than my cats and my dog. All right? Like, subscribe. I'm Caroline. This is Red Dust Creations. And we're seeing how we can fit into this crazy old world. See you next time. Bye.